So today we're reviewing the Zapotron. This is in a base game schematic that's from the Sniper set. You can get this from any mission, llama, mission reward, just kind of whatever. I know last video I said I was going to review the Gravedigger, but there is no quest available where that fire copy I have will be effective, and I simply want to keep it a fire copy because I think it's more interesting that way. So yeah, you're getting a Zapotron video instead. Also, happy October. We finally reached it. I know it's crazy. I got the little Halloween-y Scolipede in the corner. We're back to the Scolipede, not the Gudra. I might make a Halloween version of the Gudra, though. I don't know what to do for it, though, so it's just not on the table quite yet. But point being, we're just going to be reviewing this today, and yeah. So these will be the perks we're running with. Just simple crit rating, crit damage, since I can't aim worth it. I'm not the best at aiming. I know, it's crazy. But it should do fine. We also have Affliction, because when we tag the enemies, you know, they'll just be ticked away. This also can pierce multiple enemies, I think up to 3, I want to say. I could be wrong, but it pierces, and I'm honestly not sure about its damage. I've actually never used this gun before, so yeah. And since we're reviewing a sniper rifle, we're once again just using a normal sniper rifle build. Now, usually when you use a sniper rifle, you don't use it as the primary, but as per usual, unlike rocket launchers, we're going to be using it as a primary, so yeah. Anyways, let's get in game, let's craft it, and let's test it out. I hope it's good. Alrighty, we are in game, so let's scroll to the very bottom of my weapons so we can go craft ourselves the Zapotron. And there it is. Taking 13 quartz, 30 mechanical parts, 1 active power cell, 8 sunbeam, and 15 batteries. We have a wolf right there. I'm gonna kill it, get some loot out of it. And we have the Zapotron, so let's go grab it, and let's go not get hit by propane, preferably. So let's get to charge it up, and then release it. How much damage was that? I honestly couldn't tell. Now, you can like fire it kind of like a DMR of sorts. Kind of comparable to the Steam Burster, I want to say it's called. That one steampunk sniper rifle. But it also has a very small magazine size, and it's just not really worth a magazine perk. Like you see, it is, you know, killing enemies fairly well. And we only have one teammate at the given moment, which is usually not preferred. You usually want a full team, but you can see it's doing decently at least. That's actually kind of good. It's not really doing that, you know. Out of nowhere weapon I want to review actually is doing decent. I think that's only happened a couple times on this channel actually, so interesting. Yeah. Anyways, we have a mist monster right there, so since it's a sniper we can just stand a good distance. I hope this is where its head is at, because it's visually right there, but it might not be. Okay, I think I did hit its head. It did have its health and has affliction, so of course it is being ticked at. And of course, if we just let it tick, it'll die. And also, you see the piercing right there, super tasty. It got hit. Oh, interesting. It didn't die. And I missed that. Oops. Oh. Oh. Oh, so if you tap it individually, it won't pierce. You have to charge it up. You have to charge it up fully for it to do piercing. As you see right there. But yeah, honestly, pretty tasty so far. But now, of course, it is meant to be a secondary, and we're just reviewing it as a primary for fun right now. Second match, I might load in with a shotgun build or AR build of sorts, and just test it out as a secondary for mist monsters or such. But you see, it does fairly decent. I don't think we hit a headshot on that one, but that's mostly fine. Did most of its health anyways, so you know, I'm not really complaining. And then you can tap individually, but that's probably not how you want to be using this thing. But yeah. Now, I do want to address that this weapon has a bit of an infinity? I honestly don't know how to say that word, because I rarely ever say it. But it's infamous. Infamous? I don't know. But it's famous on Fortnite Battle Royale because it's a very, like, mystic-esque weapon, like the legend of the Zapotron, basically. Like, it's a very well-liked weapon, even though most players have never even used it outside of, like, Battle Royale. I know it's in creative now, and it was in OG for a while, but it's kind of like a meme weapon in Save the World, where it's like, oh yeah, the Zapotron. It's like well praised from Battle Royale because like how cool it was, but you know, in in Save the World, it's kind of, I guess, more mediocre viewed weapon. A lot of people view this kind of as just a mediocre sniper, or even like a very weak sniper. Now, what I've seen so far, it's not doing the worst. But, you know, it's kind of comparable to the third rail, actually. You know, you charge it up, then it has a big old thing of damage it does, which is fairly tasty. Now, I'm used to the third rail where you just charge it, then it fires by itself, but you have to release it yourself. It doesn't just do that by default. Now you see, it pierced, I think 3 enemies. Yeah, I think I was correct. I think it only pierces up to 3 enemies when you do a charge. So, like, 1 enemy per the bullet. So that's 3 bullets, so it pierces 3 enemies. Now, I don't think that will increase the pierce if you get a mag perk. But also, I could be wrong. It could be only... It can pierce multiple more than 3, but from what I've seen so far, it's been 3. I missed that. Interesting. But it's not the worst weapon ever. It is holding up a bit, but we kind of need to do a smasher test and a wafer test. So let's see if we can get some wafers. And I'll cut back when we get some big targets. Alrighty, the mission has begun. I said I couldn't cut away to any new enemies because I did help out with the defense. But we do have a lineup of enemies right here, so let's see if we can... I don't know if I hit anything. I got honestly can't tell. I might have overtrapped a bit. I did place these broadsides, but you can probably tell because how the proper being used. Honestly, it seems to be doing stuff, but I can't really tell because how much visual stuff is going on. Let's see if we'll find a big target instead. Maybe that'll make it a little easier to see. Interesting. We seem to be only getting like normal husks at the given moment, which is a little stinky. I'm kind of waiting for like a big target, but it doesn't seem to be like it wants to give me a big target. But it did take out that husky, I guess, if that's something you find impressive. I did trap a lot. I did fake this stuff. I don't know what I'm really thinking. Also, I did the defenders, obviously. I think that's what I was saying. I use defenders a lot. Because they just pick up what I don't really see. Is there just no mist monsters? Oh, we have one. We have one. Okay, that wasn't a headshot, but I don't even know how much that did. Can't even tell. Let's see, I want to say that was about 20,000. Interesting. Can you hold still? Can you hold still? Damn it. How did I miss that? How did I miss that? Interesting. It doesn't seem to be doing all that well against a flinger, which I think is one of the weakest miss monsters in the game. One of the weaker ones. Interesting. That's not a really good sign. So we have another one which is running into the line. Okay, that was about a quarter of its health-ish. And then Affliction did some of the work. That's good. That's why I always want to run my guns with Affliction preferably, because it will just pick off the enemy a bit. So next time I shoot them, or even if I even have to shoot them, you know, sometimes they'll die to the Affliction, which is super tasty. There's a guy under Flinger. Okay, how much? Was that its whole health? It wasn't doing that before. Interesting, interesting. I don't think. Okay, I wasn't hitting headshots. I think that was partially why I wasn't hitting my headshots. Okay, that was about 10th of its health, honestly. Maybe quarter-ish? It's really, really hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. But it does seem to be doing alright. It's not the absolute worst. Did we just one-tap that blast? No. Okay, you can't really tell, but it looks like we are doing some impressive damage. Now, the third rail exists, and will do better, and it doesn't take energy ammo, and it doesn't take batteries or crap. But, you know, if you want to swing on the base game and kind of infinite... Did we just like two-shot-ish kind of that? Like, did that take almost 2 shots ago? Oh my god. No, we're not using wafers. We are using flat tests right now. So for the next one we find, let's do a wafer test. We found our next victim, so let's not go wafer. Okay, and they not. Okay, my defender stunned it before I could hit his head. My teammate is trying to kill it with a ability. Interesting. Really interesting. It doesn't seem to be doing much. Maybe over. It might have been the crit. Maybe it did a lucky crit when we did it. I don't see any big target. I hate that guy anyways. I hate that one specific husky I just shot. I hate him. Yeah. Super interesting weapon. It's not. It seems like we have another inconsistent sniper rifle where sometimes it's doing wonderful, but most of the time it is not at all. So we have another yeoman situation on hand. I swear to God, if this is just another yeoman situation, I would be so upset because the yeoman looked so trusting and interesting, but then it was just disappointing. We have our mini boss. It is not a melee one. Was that fucking 10? Hold on. How much of the health? How much of the health did I just get? I wasn't really anything. So okay, so yeah, it looks like it can chunk health, which is super nice. Now, it's not chunking the best because we're also not in a full team. I want to point out we're not in a full team, and it's doing great. Not the best, but great. Which cannot be said for some other weapons. Yeah. Some other weapons are kind of just. How much was that? How much was that? Oh my! Holy! We had a headshot. It's dying. Okay, now it didn't do much damage. Wait. Oh my, dude. You guys saw that, right? Tell me you're please paying attention. Oh my god, that was so much. That was so much. We have a bit of a crowd. Clear this real quick. But oh my god, that chunked that so much of its health. Oh my god. Oh, okay. That looks really promising. That was so much of its health gone. Holy moly. Holy crap. Oh, and it destroyed most of the defense. Our lubber shield's holding up. How much was that? Can any skilled readers tell me, chat? Not chat. My mind's on late night with Creature. But no, that was really impressive. Oh, I just instantly broke its shooter. Okay, I chunked it again. I killed a cheater. Very impressive. It's being very impressive. This is doing a lot better than I was initially expecting. Now, for a while, I was a bit unimpressed, admittedly, and audibly, of course, because this is commentary. But that did so much damage to the mini-boss when I had to play Rocking Alex for that bit, I think. But like, holy guacamole. It did so much. It did so much. And our defense is crumbling. Make sure to say GG. Also, 2-person 4 game, not bad. But holy crap, I did not expect that to chunk that hard, but I'll see you in the next match or in lobby. Alrighty, for our next build, we're just going to be using a simple Beetle Chest build with a Bobcat in the lead and the Zapotron in support. Of course, this is no longer focusing on the Zapotron fully, this is more of showing it in the support as intended, because usually you're never using a sniper rifle like this in the lead unless, you know, it has, you know, like a burst capability, kind of like the triple tap, or a good crowd cleared capability, kind of like, oh, what's that one sniper rifle? I had it on the tip of my tongue. I was about to say it. Hold on, let me go pull it up. I couldn't remember the name because technically it's not a sniper rifle, but technically classified as a sniper rifle, but the vacuum tube bow. This also has good crowd clearing, but it's stuck to nature, which means you can only really use it against water enemies, and, well, you know. Fire enemies will only do a quarter of its damage, and against nature enemies it's only doing 67% of its damage, which is not preferred. You usually want to, you know, do your 100% of your damage, so yeah. This is good for crowd clearing, but, you know, stuck to one element. Also, for those who don't know, this is the Bobcat. I've had this schematic for years. I used to primary this SMG, actually, but, you know, things change. But I'll be using this as the primary and Zapotron in support. Alrighty, we are in-game into another match. It took a couple hours, so this is a bit late. Isn't that inconvenient? But we are in our next match. So let's go play some Fortnite, yes. Now, first we're using the Bobcat as primary and Zapotron as secondary. Both are easy to get weapons, but the Bobcat, excuse me, I just burped. But the Bobcat is from the military set, a expansion weapon set. So you do have to get out of llamas or from the collection book. So it isn't the easiest to get, but it is a very decent weapon, very good. I don't think it's the best SMG in the game. I think it is up there though. Oh cool, we have a full team, so this should be a fairly good test out match. And of course, we don't have the full optimal damage for the Zapotron as before, because of course we are now using it in the secondary instead of the primary, which is harder to use snipers, admittedly. But yeah, so you get some wafers. There we go. So let's pop a wafer. Let's see if it will. Okay, so it's still only tapping basic husks, even when wafered. Okay, I'm taking damage. Okay, not even fully charged up. It is still killing enemies fairly quickly. Now I want to go find a bigger target, so I will be right. Oh, actually, never mind. Big target is right there. Let's pop a wafer, then take out that hole. Okay, and then we can go in with our SMG and just kind of spray into the enemies. Of course, the SMG is super good. I haven't reviewed it yet, and you know, if you want me to review it, I can. Just let me know with a comment on the video, of course. But yeah, I see it's still doing fairly well in the secondary, and without a build, you know, primarying it. We have a smasher over here, so let's reload. And let's see what we can do. Okay, I didn't get a headshot, but it did about, I want to say, a quarter of its health. Okay, I'm getting targeted by so much enemies. My aim's panicking. Oh, they're about to kill us. Oh, oops. I thought it was already one. I thought it was that one survivor that's already down by default. Oops. Oops. My bad. Sorry, Ned. But let's pop a wafer again, and let's see. Okay, we didn't have a full mag, so it didn't do its full damage. Okay, interesting. So of course it's doing less damage than before, but with a crit, it does seem to be doing a decent amount. Now, of course, when we have a big crowd like this, we're just going to switch to our SMG to take care of things. Very decent. I do just have simple perks on this SMG, but that's besides the point. I was hoping to get more solid testing out of that, but sadly we did not. But I'll cut back if we get any big targets to test out with. Alrighty, we do have a blaster over here, so let's just go see if we can... How did I miss that? Oh, okay, I didn't miss that time, so we can just shoot him and then target with our SMG. That hit me and it did nothing. That is actually fairly convenient. I see it's a very good SMG, but that's not the focus. Focus is the sniper rifle. This is just our primary. So, yeah. And see, the sniper rifle will do great. Well, not just a sniper rifle. The Zapotron will do great if you are fighting a bunch of enemies and you just need to take out a mist monster because, you know, you don't want to be focused on bio. That's very tasty, very useful for that use case. We do have another smash over here, so let's pop a wafer and charge up the Zapotron. Okay, that was about a quarter, half-ish of its health. Okay, okay, not bad. So, just about... How many charges is this going to take? Well, the deflection is going to kill it. But... So if we got a lucky crit with a headshot, that would have been around 3 charges, which is super good. I think the third rail had a very similar scenario, except it did its full damage by 1 bullet instead of 3. So, use case-wise, if you're looking for something that is a very unique weapon and will, you know, do great against smashers and mist monsters, you might just want to go with the third rail, which I've already reviewed. I think around a couple episodes ago. It wasn't that long ago. I know that much. It wasn't that long ago. But I did review them. I did review all the invasion weapons. So, you know, I could put that in a playlist if interested. But they're available. You know, you just have to scroll through my video feed. But yeah. I'll cut back if the defense starts, or we get a mist monster to test out with again. Well, look at that. A smasher. Alright, let's pop a wafer. Let's get that charge on. Okay, so about the same as before, about a third of its health. That did less than... Oh, interesting. Very interesting. I got hit. Let's see if we can get it to... Oh, you kidding me. Interesting. Interesting. It seems to do less damage the more you target on one enemy. I know that's not what's happening, but it really does feel like that. Let's line up these two guys. Yeah, look at that. That's very tasty. That is very tasty. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. But yeah. So, it is fairly decent, but the third rail exists, so I don't know why you would want this over that. But I'll see you in the defense, because I'm not going to do another cutaway for another smasher. Alrighty, the mission has started, and we have a blast there. Oh, they killed it before I could. We seem to be getting the density of enemies over here. So I'm just trying to, you know, get my little share of it to see what it will do. Okay, it chunked again. Interesting. It always seems like when the defense starts, it starts chunking. Interesting. Now that should have been a Zapple. I thought it was a broadside right there, but I guess I was wrong. And also, there's a wall and a... I don't really know what my teammates are thinking. Also, there's brick in a water zone, may I add. We have another smash right here, so let's just do okay, that is not good. Let me just go with my SMG. Now, I did say proper-ish usage in the chat, but they did use it properly. But... you know, usually use them for trap tunnels, not these. Usually you want to have like wall darts or something. Just like something else, because the broadsides, yes, will do damage, but it is, I think it is just a bit better for them, more like elongnated. I don't know. Just longer trap tunnels. They're meant more for like long trap tunnels, not really big, like one tile spaces in my opinion. But it works. It's just, I think a wall zapper, or wall dynamo, whatever you want to call it, will do a bit better in the situation with, maybe someone. There's ways you can use it, but the broadsides do work. Is it preferred, in my opinion? No, but it works. It works, absolutely works. How are you alive? How are you alive? Yeah, let's see if we can get another big target. So of course we're going with the SMG, and then we're just, you know, using the sniper rifle, Zapotron, as a mist monster picker. Kind of like how you're tended to use it. I know, crazy. But yeah. Now usually when you're using a secondary, you might have just a bazooka, like the Ancient's launcher, or just, you know, the bazooka. But, you know, it's sometimes a little fun to try out different things. No, they did use brick, but it seems to be going pretty well. Anyways, as you can see, the weapon does fairly well. Now, of course, I'm talking about the SMG here. The SMG does fairly well. But, yeah. Oh, and I'm getting stuck on stuff. Oh, that got flinged. We have a flinger somewhere, though. We have one right there, so... Oh, that's most of its health. Oh, not bad, not bad. Now they need to go in with the SMG, not the SMG, but with the, what do you call it? Plasma discharger, which wasn't bad. Was that me or was that them? I can't tell. But point being, as you see, it's doing extremely well. It's not the worst. But, like I've said before, the third rail exists. And this is just basically a worser version of that. So, yeah. I don't know why you would exactly use those. But, you know, the Zapotron's there if you have it, I guess. And also, it can have Affliction, which can be useful. But, yeah. I'll get back if we get a mini-boss. Alright, we have a melee mini-boss, but I want to see if we can go in with our Zapotron and maybe do a good chunk of damage. I don't know how much that did. I was looking at teleport when I got it. Okay, so it's not chunky in it as before, like with the Smasher mini-boss from the last footage. But you see, it is doing a good amount of damage. I'm being beaten up by it, though. Leave me alone, please, sir. I'm scared. Yeah, let's just swap out to the sword real quick. And I got 2 taps, I think. And that was the mini-boss. Sadly, we couldn't show it off fully. We had to swap to watch it for a second. But as you see, the Zapotron does well. But, I'll say it in lobby. I'll say it in lobby. But I'll see you all in lobby because I showed up what I can, so yeah. So, what I suggest the Zapotron, depending on the availability of it. If you can have access to the third rail, as in the weekly shop, or just fluxing it out of the collection book, I suggest going for the third rail. But if you can't do that at the given moment, and just have a Zapotron laying around and you want a good sniper rifle for taking out mist monsters, it could be your pick. Now you can run this preferably with headshot perks, which I didn't do. I run it with crits, which is what did most of my damage the review. And, you know, if you're better at headshots, you might just want to run it with headshots, honestly, because, let's see, how many headshot perks can I have? Okay, just 1. I thought I could have 2 at least, but no, I'm wrong. I also have fire rate and magazine, which might be useful depending how you use it. But personally speaking, I ran it like this because it's just what felt good to me. So yeah, you know, if you have access to the third rail, go for that one. But if you don't have access to it, go for this. But ultimately, you might just want to use a bazooka, because unlike the sniper rifles I review, this will kill everything around it. It'll kill that thing and the things around it. It will do great. So if you're looking for something, just go for the bazooka. It's base game, easy to get, and, you know, comes pretty well perked, you know. You can have Affliction, like, just a bunch of good things. So, if you're gonna go for a secondary, might as well just go for a bazooka, because it will do its job. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll see you all next time, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.